Afghan pop star Aryana Sayeed. A year later, she's living in Istanbul with her fiancé, and Aryana joins us now from Washington, D.C., where she's preparing for her USA concert tour. Great to see you, Aryana. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Can you take us back to that dramatic escape, which is just over a year ago? How did you manage to get away from the Taliban?
Well, as you might have seen some of those horrible images that came out of the Kabul airport while thousands of people were trying to escape the country. I was one amongst all those thousands of people, and as I failed to get out of the country, the first thing Taliban took over, I ended up being under the rule of Taliban for the next almost 2 days. And since I was a well-known face, I am a well-known face and a direct target of Taliban, for me it was much worse, because if I would have been caught, then I would have probably been dead by now. But with the help of God and the prayers of the people who love me, I think I managed to escape the country 2 days later with a lot of difficulties and horrible situations. And I'm happy that I'm sitting here and I'm still alive and doing my thing.
Yes, thank goodness. Well, it does seem, doesn't it, like performers and artists such as yourself were very much top of the Taliban's hit list. They seem determined, don't they, to stamp out traditional Afghan culture. How are you helping to keep your culture alive?
Well, I have to tell you that my country, Afghanistan, has a history and culture of 5,000 years. And you have to understand that Taliban are a group of people who have not experienced a normal life. And they mostly come from villages, small villages, or the mountains. And as they come to a big city like Kabul, where life is almost normal there, they do not understand, and they're in shock right now. And anything that is above their level of understanding, they will try to destroy that. And unfortunately, music and art is one of those things. And again, as they don't understand culture, they never had culture, they don't have music, it's something new to them, so they will try to destroy it, unfortunately.
And tragically, of course, the human rights situation has deteriorated dramatically for Afghans, particularly girls and women. Are you in touch with anyone back home?
I'm in touch with some of my employees who actually used to work for my clothing brand, and I'm in touch with so many artists and musicians and poor relatives. And they're living a hard life right now, horrible situation. There is hunger, there's poverty, there's no work, there's no human rights. So all these people that I know are living a very, very extremely bad life, a horrible situation. We're trying to do as much as we can from abroad, trying to help them with money here and there. But honestly, they're suffering right now really, really badly. And the one thing that we were hoping that would end by now is suicide bombings, which unfortunately even that has not ended, and people are in a horrible situation.
Yeah, and we've just learned, haven't we, that President Biden is honouring those soldiers who took part in the evacuation operation. Some people say it was chaotic. Do you have any thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I feel horrible that the international community lost so many of their sons and daughters during the past 20 years in Afghanistan. And of course, we lost thousands of Afghans at the same time. And as much as I appreciate the efforts that the soldiers made in Afghanistan, evacuating thousands of people, including myself, but at the same time, I don't understand why we left the country in the hands of the same terrorist groups that ruined our country 20 years ago. And we have to ask ourselves why we are in that situation again. But at the same time, I do appreciate them trying to evacuate thousands of Afghans. But I do not understand why they left the country back in the same terrorist groups.
All right. Aryana Sayeed, it's great to talk to you. Good luck with your tour, and thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me.